So, one day, I'm just sitting at my computer, desperate for an idea for a new video. I've done a few Phineas and Ferb ones, Turbo Teen, and some others, but I'm at a loss as to what to cover next. And no one has any interesting video ideas for me. Won't someone think of the poor content-starved creator, I thought. Then, like an angel descending from the heavens, a comment comes in from a viewer recommending I check out Kitti Katz. So, instead of reviewing, I don't know, something more interesting like Unicorn, Warriors Eternal, I'm going to talk about some kids show on fucking Netflix. So let's go. What is Kitti Katz? It's about some teen girls who get magical cat powers and fight evil. That's basically it. Simple and straight to the point. We initially follow Tabitha, or Tabs for short, the new girl on her first day at a new school. She lives with her aunt, who vaguely reminds me of a hotter Velma, but it's not really explained where her parents are. Maybe in another episode. Her first day goes about as well as you can imagine from a show like this. She immediately makes some friends and some enemies, in a way that can only ever happen in fiction. Those friends are Zami and Kia, who also share Tab's love of primary colors. I dig their designs, even if sometimes I think the CGI style is a bit wonky. I couldn't tell you why it looks off to me, but hopefully I either get used to it, or it just improves if this show somehow manages to get a second season. The bully who just decides to start shit for no reason is Charity, an ironic name for sure. Spoilers, but given the events of the episode with her stealing this gem, I get the feeling there's more to her than meets the eye. As it stands, she's pretty one note. Yes, that might be nitpicking a kid's show, but even bullies should have more character to them than just, hey, I pick on people just because. It's only episode 1, so it's possible we'll learn more about her later. However, I feel like the episode should have given a bit more plausible a reason for her to just go after Tabitha. Maybe Tabitha accidentally insults or humiliates her, or she gets jealous of the attention that the new girl gets. I don't know. People love to hate a good villain, and I pray that Charity gets to be that for the audience for this show. Things escalate after Charity yoinks the gem, unleashing some ghost cats? And the guardian of the gem, or whatever, who yammers on about needing new guardians, because she failed pretty bad, not gonna lie. And I wonder who the new ones will be. If you guessed the 3 color-coded girls we've been following, you win. Tabs, Zami, and Kia become Ruby Kitty, Emerald Kitty, and Sapphire Kitty, complete with color-matching skin-tight outfits.
Look at us! Superheroes! Just like Suki and the Samurai Squad.
For some reason, this also then turns them into actual kittens, but with fur that matched their hair color, that no one else notices or points out as odd. Apparently in this town, cats come in all kinds of colors, including green and blue. We later learn that this happens when they drop their concentration or feel fear, because every superpower needs a weakness. It's a little silly, I'll admit, but the show is also called Kitti Katz, so it's probably par for the course. I just love when teens, who spend a lot of time already feeling anxious and scared, get stuff like this dropped on them. Like, yeah, I'm sure the still developing teens will totally be able to not feel fear and turn into cats at the worst timing. What makes matters worse, besides being trapped in the bodies of defenseless kittens, is they're being chased by demons. Demon dogs, to be precise. Get it? Because cats and dogs hate each other. These dog demons are suspiciously wearing jackets sporting the name of the girls' school team, which leads me to wonder if they too go to the same school. I say as if I figured out some obscure clue or something. My money is on the girl dog being either Charity or maybe her dog, but the timeline doesn't really match up for that to be true, so I'm not sure. Oh, there's also a cat council, by the way, because of course there is. I actually found this part funny. Just the idea that cats are having secret meetings behind our backs is amusing as hell for some reason. Their leader is called Fat Alf, which is also both funny and cute, and maybe a bit insulting. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on your definition of words, this part of the episode includes one of the weirdest moments.
Focus and purr.
let's write that the teen girls need to purr in order to transform back and forth. That's not a bit creepy at all. I get it, it's cat themed, but come on, it wasn't even good purring either. Now, that might sound like I'm complaining. I'm not really. It's just odd, and I wanted to point it out. The kitty cats have another final confrontation with the dogs in this episode, and they manage to defeat them using the spirit cats. Both ingenious and gross. They swear that this will be the last time they do this. Ladies, this is just episode 1. You're going to be doing a lot more of this, trust me. Then the episode ends with Charity staring ominously at the green jewel she pilfered earlier. You know, as one does. Given this is marketed as an action cartoon, at some point you would probably assume I would talk about that. Well, you'd be correct. And as far as action goes, it's okay. I've seen better, and I've certainly seen worse. This is somewhere in between. Like with the last action cartoon I covered, Jade Armor, this show makes me wish it was 2D animated instead. A lot of their movements feel stiff, nothing feels dynamic, and some effects like this look lame compared to what I think 2D animation could achieve. Now, I'm no animator, of course, so anything I say should be taken with a grain of salt, but the show could stand to work on being a bit more animated and expressive with the action scenes at least. The show doesn't even have a bad style, it just needs a little bit more grease to get the wheels going, so to speak. I think the main characters are pretty good too, though. A little overexcited sounding at times, which grated on my ears.
Did you see that jump? Oh yeah! I've got some powers!
But again, it's for kids, so I guess it's to keep their attention. If I watched more of this, which will depend on if you lords and ladies want more videos, I'd be interested in learning more about what makes each of these girls tick. I'm crossing my fingers for some decent storytelling, at least, exploring the ups and downs of being a teen and balancing their time as superheroes. You know, the typical stuff you'd find in this genre of show. Honestly, I don't think Kitti Katz is likely to be the best show out there on Netflix. I'm definitely not the target audience for it, and that's okay. I think its first episode is a little rough, animation and plot-wise, but I didn't despise it, so that is saying something. If you've seen the show, why don't you let me know what you thought of it? Thanks for watching, and thanks again to ᴅᴇᴘʀᴇssᴇᴅ for the suggestion. And, yeah, take care. Hello, lords and ladies. Welcome back to Cartoon Hangout, your place for all things cartoon. Since some of you wanted me to cover more of Netflix's Kitti Katz, I decided to tackle episode 2, Spirit Cats. After the events of the last episode, the girls end up getting detention for skipping the field trip. It's the bare minimum, but I like that there's already continuity being established, and them vanishing wasn't just swept under the rug by the next episode. A big component to superhero fiction is the heroes having to deal with the consequences of running out on their everyday responsibilities to handle their heroic ones. It's a small thing, but I just wanted to point that out. Along with that, another old classic is the reluctant hero trope. None of the girls, minus maybe ᴅᴇᴘᴇssᴅ, want to be cat guardians, so they head off to tell the council they want out. Of course, the only out they're offered is to capture the spirit cats and find the emerald jewel Charity pinched earlier. Only then can they become regular, boring old humans. They're basically indentured superheroes at this point. They're put through a bit of training, which wasn't all that interesting visually, if I'm being honest. I still think the 3D style hurts more than helps this show, at least when anything action-y needs to happen. The only real highlights of this scene was the pug, Huggy, who thinks he's a cat, and Trixie, some weird female cat who sports a very human-looking haircut. My money is she's maybe also a human, because why else would she look the least like a real cat, right? Then again, Tabs, ᴅᴇᴘ, and Kia are RGB colored, so maybe I'm wrong. I do wonder what the point of the Cat Council is. They seem like they train potential cat guardians, but what else are they doing? Why is the council only 5 members? Are we going to meet more of them later on? Many questions, few answers. The demon dogs show back up and meet with a green fart cloud whose name escapes me, and I was a bit confused here. See, I was under the impression the dogs were sent by the fart cloud, but in this episode, the dog girl says that they were drawn here when the fart cloud lady was released. So who exactly are the demon dogs? Are they just random anthropomorphic dogs roaming around town? Or are they similar to the Kitti Katz and are humans? Side note, but I did love the voice for this particular dog.
By the time we arrived, your gemstone was gone.
Rewinding a bit, because I actually forgot to talk about the soccer tryout scene, which was earlier, I actually did enjoy this part of the episode. I think Charity makes for a good villain for Tabitha, constantly trying to get in her face and mess with her, just to fail miserably. If she can get fleshed out even further, I think the dynamic she has with Tabs will be an entertaining one. My one criticism for this part of the episode is the way this scene is laid out. Makes it almost seem like there's two Charities. Legit, for a few seconds, I thought she had a twin and I was just too tired to notice, but no, she slid past Tabs to prevent her from scoring a point. It's a bit of a confusing scene. And like I pointed out in episode 1, the action sequences are a little dry, and that's not changed here. Another confrontation with the demon dogs ensues, which amounts to little more than them throwing energy balls up at the girls, who easily dodge them. When they do get down and dirty, it just seems so uninspiring. I know it's a kid's show, and this is maybe me just nitpicking, but if Miraculous Ladybug and older action cartoons can do it, surely Kitti Katz can step up. Fingers once again crossed that if Season 2 happens, it'll improve on the animation a lot. We also learn the purpose of the spirit cats in this episode. They're not really the enemy. They need to be helped by removing the gem on their foreheads to return them to normal. Basically, they're like the moths from Miraculous Ladybug or the pieces of crimson armor from Jade armor, which really won't help the comparisons I've seen viewers leveling at the show. Granted, Ladybug was not the first show to have MacGuffins, yet it's still not very original either. Let's just hope the show isn't showing signs already of a boring formula. Battle the dogs, purify the spirit cats, repeat. Compared to episode 1, overall, I do believe the show is picking up steam. Since episode 1 needed to do some setup, it wasn't as engaging as what we got in this second outing. The action isn't all that great, but I did love the character interactions throughout. It still has a long way to go, admittedly, but it has promise. And those are my scattered thoughts on episode 2 of Kitti Katz. What did you think of this one? Did I miss anything? Considering I wrote this on no sleep at 1 AM? Probably. Before I go, I'd like to remind you that you can watch these videos earlier than others by becoming a member, and I do sell my own merch, which you can find linked below. I'd absolutely appreciate it if you check them out. Thanks for watching. Take care.